My parents refused to visit my 7-year-old in the hospital because they didn't want to catch anything. 3 days later, they threw a huge birthday party for my sister's kid and texted me a bill for $1,000. Weeks after that, my grandpa called everyone to his house and basically detonated the family. My daughter had gone from running around my living room to burning up overnight. By morning, her breathing sounded wrong, so I carried her to the ER with her arms locked around my neck. After they admitted her, she stared at the IV like it was a science project and whispered, "Did I miss school today, Daddy?" I told her, "Just today," and smiled like I wasn't terrified. That first night, when she finally fell asleep, I stepped into the hallway and called my parents. I kept it simple. "She's in the hospital. She's scared. Can you come see her?" My mom sighed like I'd asked her to help me move a couch. "We don't want to catch the disease. You understand, right?" The next morning, my daughter woke up and looked straight at the door. "Is Grandma coming today?" I lied and said, "She's busy," because what else do you say to a kid with a needle in her arm? I tried again later and my dad hit me with, "Let's wait until she's better. Like love has a waiting room." On day 3, my phone lit up with our family group chat, balloons, cake, an entertainer. My parents smiling like they hadn't just ghosted a hospitalized child. Then my mom messaged me directly, "Your share is $1,000. Please send it today." I called her from the hallway, voice low, hands shaking. "She's in the hospital," my mom chirped. "Yes, but this was already planned. It wouldn't be fair if you didn't contribute." My dad jumped on the call and said, "You're overreacting. This isn't about her." That sentence was the cleanest, coldest thing he'd ever said. I looked through the glass at my daughter, sleeping with her stuffed rabbit smashed to her chest. I said, "I'm not paying." My mom snapped, "So you're punishing everyone because you're upset?" I answered, "No, I'm protecting my child," and hung up. They spammed me for hours. "It's just money. Stop being dramatic. You're ruining the family." Not one message asked how she was. The first person who did was my grandpa. He texted, "I heard she's in the hospital. Where are you?" I sent the address. He showed up with slow steps and a hard face. He took my daughter's hand and she lit up like someone turned the lights back on. "You came," she said. "Of course I did," he told her. "That's what family does." Then he asked me to step into the hallway and I told him everything. We got discharged that evening. My mom called the second I buckled my daughter into the car. "She's out? Good. Bring her to dinner tomorrow." I said no. She laughed like it was a joke. My dad took the phone and said, "This family doesn't revolve around your child." I replied, "My life does," and ended it. 2 days later, my grandpa told me to bring my daughter to his house. When we pulled up, my parents' cars were already there. Inside, my sister sat stiff on the couch. My parents avoided my eyes, and my grandpa stood like a judge. "This isn't a discussion," he said. "It's a reckoning." First, he looked at my parents. Then he said, "You refused to visit her." After that, he held up my mom's bill. Next, he said, "You charged her father during her fever." Then he stared at my sister. "You learned it and passed it on." The room went dead silent as he pulled out a folder. Finally, he said, "I changed my will." My mom went pale. My dad's jaw locked. My sister started crying before the words even finished. Grandpa didn't flinch. "You will no longer get my financial support," he said. My dad asked, "So where does it go?" Grandpa answered, "To the child you ignored." We left without yelling, without begging, without bargaining. After that, I stopped showing up to family events where my daughter was treated like an afterthought. I stopped replying to guilt texts. I stopped explaining basic decency to adults who pretended not to understand it. Months later, my daughter stopped asking why grandma didn't call. She stopped waiting by the window on holidays. One night we were baking cookies, and she casually said, "It's okay if they don't like me, Daddy." I asked why, and she shrugged, "Because you do." A few weeks after that, my sister showed up at my door looking exhausted. "I didn't realize," she said, voice small. "Not until everything stopped." I didn't argue. I just said, "Now you do." She wiped her face, nodded once, and left. And for the first time, the silence felt peaceful.